Hello and welcome to Heston 83's 50 Page at a Time book review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the first 50 pages of a new book that just came out last week. It's published by Clarion Call Books, written by David C. Reed. The title is Dinosaurs, an Adventist View. Over the past several months, John Reed has been telling me about his son's upcoming book release on the subject of dinosaurs. He also told me about the amalgamation theory and briefly explained the idea to me in his own words. The first 50 pages have been a pleasant surprise from the previous uncertainty. The opening of Dinosaurs, an Adventist View is mostly an introduction to the history of the sciences of geology and paleontology. This book is easy to read and is written to cater to non-science related people. This is obvious on page 6 when Reed clarifies the technical term herbivorous or vegetarian dinosaur. People who may not have had a scientific education or a priori scientific knowledge about dinosaurs will find this book easy to read. However, it is also easy to interject very questionable, if not downright absurd, stories about the history of Dinosauria. Within the first 50 pages, there is one example of bias on page 14. Reed states, "Clearly the reptile had made no evolutionary progress in the sense of becoming more complex. To the contrary, it had gone backward." This statement is a textbook case of the ad ignorantium fallacy of logic. Contradictory to Reed's claim, it is not clear that the dinosaurs had no progress through evolution. Likewise, today's reptiles are not necessarily less complex than the dinosaurs. It may be easy to make the assumption that since the dinosaurs were larger and scarier looking, that they were more complex. If the complexity of a dinosaur constitutes horned, look at the horned lizards of today. Many modern reptiles possess extraordinarily complex envenomation structures, such as fangs that do not only inject, but can accurately aim and spray venom. Consider the complexity of a pterosaur's wings, then look at modern bats and birds having similar wing structure to that of the great pterosaurs. It is easy to rebut this claim of the extinct pre-Diluvian complexity, as there is not a single shred of evidence to support this theological claim. Not only is it highly improbable, but it is also illogical. This very idea is a post hoc attempt to support a dubious idea born and seated within the laws of primacy. I am sure that it is nothing more than an underlying bias about our science and history. This should be expected since it is essentially proclaimed on the cover. The author is not of scientific discipline, but rather a student of law. This background can and will offer a somewhat unique view of the subject, and it is notable that in the past many other lawyers have attempted this similar feat. Their efforts usually ended in a vague, argumentative, and unsuccessful endeavor to impose their ideas upon readers while hiding behind a veil of complicated jargon. Reed has so far managed to avoid this pitfall. The following 561 pages will be more likely to show obvious bias, as it seems the author dives deeper into the philosophy and science of paleontology. I will look into the rest of this book, and I am sure it will lead me to author another review on its content.